So much for your time. I am Pius Kojobaka, and looking at our stories. This evening, some energy sector players have expressed mixed reactions following the significant leadership reshuffle at the Tema oil refinery, as Deputy Managing Director Edmond Kombat now heads the refinery following the reassignment of Dr. Yusuf Suleimana to the Energy Ministry as technical advisor. The Ministry of Energy confirmed the changes this week, citing ongoing efforts to strengthen leadership within the energy sector and align towards management with broader strategic objectives. In a statement, the Energy Ministry noted that Dr. Suleimana's expertise would now be leveraged at the national policy level, particularly technical advisory support to ongoing energy sector reforms. There you go with the statement on your screens, and it's captured appointment of Mr. Edmond Kombat, Esquire, as acting managing director of the Tema Oil Refinery Limited. And it reads, the management of Tema Oil Refinery Limited is pleased to announce the appointment of Mr. Edmond Kombat, Esquire, by the President of the Republic as the new acting managing director of TOR Limited. Prior to his appointment, Mr. Kombat held the position of deputy managing director of TOR from February 2025. He goes on to say Mr. Edmond Kombat Esquire brings his extensive experience and a solid track record in the energy sector to his new role as acting managing director. As a seasoned energy professional, his professional journey spans several key roles, including his work at the Ministry of Energy, the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company, BOST, and Tema Oil Refinery Limited. He is also a co-founder of the Institute of Energy Security, IES, and has served in advisory strategic roles across South Africa, Tanzania, and Mozambique. He concludes by saying Mr. Kombat's impressive expertise and background in energy position him favorably to lead the refinery under his leadership. The management and staff are confident that it will drive the refinery's transformation to contribute to Ghana's economic growth and support in achieving energy security. And of course, this is signed by the Corporate Affairs Officer and of course, External Affairs of TOR, Ed Godwin Mahama Ayaba. Thankfully, he joins us on Zoom. All right, so as and when we do have him, we will get to speak to the PRO of the Tema Oil Refinery and, of course, get an industry expert on the back of that subject matter for you. And we are following keenly on that. As and when we do have them, we shall bring them to you. Let's touch on the story quickly. Indigenous Bank GCB Bank PLC has recorded an impressive growth in 2024 with profit after tax of 1.2 billion cedis, representing a 23.3% growth. The bank declared a dividend of 1 cedi per share. Here's more from GCB Bank PLC's 31st annual general meeting.
Despite challenging conditions, GCB's balance sheet remained resilient throughout the year, reflecting a robust and well-positioned financial foundation. Total assets grew to 42.8 billion cedis, a 57.6% increase from the previous year. Profits before tax also increased by 23.3% to 1.9 billion cedis. Speaking at the 31st annual general meeting, Professor Joshua Alabi, board chair of the bank, expressed the bank's resolve to improve growth by leveraging technology.
We are going to work as a team to move the bank to the next level. I'm very confident that GCB Bank is a very strong bank in this Ghana. It's a number one bank, and my board is going to make sure that whatever we present today, we do better than that in this year, and make them smile more than they're smiling today.
Shareholders raised concerns about the bank's increasing operating expenses, which rose from 1.8 billion cedis to 2.1 billion cedis. Responding to this, Managing Director Farihad Al-Hassan committed to working towards improving the bank's balance sheet.
In the past, once we had a budget for cost, we knew that the board had approved it, and so we had the room to spend. Today, what we are doing is that if you don't generate the income, you don't spend. So we have put in what we call the cost committee, which vets every cost before they are incurred. And the vetting is done relative to how much revenues we have made. Yes, if it is an investment that we need to make money to put into that investment. If there's no money, we cannot do it. And most of the business unit heads understand this philosophy very, very well. So if they want to spend, they must make the money to spend.
He emphasized his vision to revamp the bank's subsidiaries.
On the subsidiaries, yes, we can do a lot more. So we would be doing some reorganization of these subsidiaries, both G Money and GCB Capital, will go through some reorganization to position them to take advantages on the market.
A dividend of 1 cedi per share was approved by the shareholders. Professor Joshua Alabi, Faihal and Hassan were also approved as the board chair and managing director respectively, together with 8 non-executive directors of the bank. The board was charged with ensuring that GCB Bank PLC experiences phenomenal growth in 2025.
You're still watching Business Live. Let's go now back to our earlier story where I was telling you about the reassignment of Dr. Yusuf Suleimana to the Energy Ministry as the technical advisor, and of course the appointment of his deputy as the managing director of TOR. And I want to bring on some expertise to this very subject matter. And an industry person, Duncan Amwa, joined us via Zoom for a conversation. He's the executive secretary of COPEC. Duncan, pleasure you could join me on Business Live. Now, I'm wondering how COPEC received the reassignment of Dr. Yusuf Suleimana as technical advisor at the Energy Ministry.
Thank you, Pius. So we got wind of the development on Wednesday. That there's been a reassignment of the then Tema Refinery MD. Some of the reasons you hear to the extent that he actually had extended some contracts in there that probably he shouldn't have. We had a lot of confidence with him that he was going to deliver. That notwithstanding, the one stepping in his shoes is equally competent, is somebody you can expect a lot out of, though relatively younger. I mean, it is something that we didn't see coming, to be very honest. If you look at Dr. Suleiman's expertise or competence, right from Tema Refinery to petroleum Oman development, one would have expected to see that some competence is brought to bear on the refinery. Unfortunately, that is not to be. But that notwithstanding, there's still a lot of prospects with the refinery. There's still a lot of good or positives that the short stay with Dr. Yusuf Suleiman could bring to the refinery. But overall, the bigger picture is that the one stepping in his shoes is not a novice either. And we are quite confident that whatever plans that they both had that they needed to execute to bring the refinery to productivity or to some efficiency, we'll be seeing that with the new managing director in the person of Edmond Kombat. We don't have any less confidence in his leadership style either.
Let's look at the content of the letter reassigning him. They explain that, well, this is because his expertise will be needed to be leveraged at the Energy Ministry. Do you think that justification is tenable?
I do think I have spoken to Dr. Suleiman this afternoon. He is still in high spirits. Clearly, if you look at a lot of his background, even with petroleum, Oman development, he's more of a gas person. And so where he has been reassigned to should not be a difficult zone for him at all. I also get from him, from my interaction this afternoon, that clearly the train 2 for Ghana Gas is something that the ministry is very, expectant of. And so he has been put on that schedule to ensure that whatever they need to do with ENI, they need to do with Ghana Gas and partners, he should be able to get to see to it that the train 2 comes on stream in real time. So it might sound like, well, he's lost Tema Refinery, but where he's been reassigned to is not bad either. And I think that his competencies or his skill sets, we can derive some maximum returns for those as far as the train 2 program that the ministry is spearheading is also concerned.
But Duncan, although Dr. Suleimana's transition to the energy ministry comes after a relatively short time at all, we know he initiated some preliminary steps towards operational revival, including discussions around public-private partnerships and infrastructure rehabilitation. How will this go?
You see, Pius, the good thing is that he had a deputy that he worked with, and that deputy had been in the loop in all of this. I'm certain that whatever assistance that he can still render to the deputy who now steps in his shoes, he would not shy away from, helping when need be. But the truth is that he's been reassigned to a different portfolio now. That portfolio is a portfolio that his competencies or skill sets would be put to good use. Whatever happens with the refinery, I think that the new managing director would either take the credit or the fall for it. But we don't have any less admiration for the new managing director in the person of Edmond Kombat. Relatively young, but you go through the bits and pieces about him, and you realize that he's somebody who sets out to achieve, and he delivers just that. So whatever they agree together, when he was a deputy managing director to Yusuf Suleiman, now he's in the driving seat. I think that he can even enhance on whatever that they had set out to do together, and ensure that he does, a lot better, because he probably had, some blueprint on what they wanted to do to bring the refinery to operational efficiency. But as it stands, you cannot judge yet. You would need to wait, give the new person the room to see what he brings to the table, and then maybe after half a year, we can be able to judge as to whether the new person indeed is able to fill the big shoes that Suleimana would have left at the refinery. But we have no less confidence at all in Edmond Kombat, like I indicated earlier.
So for you believe, considering his worth of experience, he can deliver by keeping the refinery running. But I'm wondering whether there will be any hurdles ahead of him, even though he has all this expertise coming on board, whether internally or externally.
I am happy you take me to that point. Oftentimes you will get managing directors come to the refinery. They could come with beautiful ideas, beautiful competencies that one would expect to see the refinery move from the idle state that it's currently at to some operational efficiency. Unfortunately, if you get the state actors or the political figureheads not in tune or aligned to what you are seeking to introduce, then there is the conflict where your idea of what we could do to make TOR viable, to make TOR operational, and then what the political figureheads are also expecting. So, like I indicated, the board will play a key role in how things pan out at the refinery. But beyond the board is the ministry supervisory jurisdiction, and then again, what the president and the Jubilee House would also want out of the refinery. I'm sure if all these three forces or factors are aligned properly, and the new managing director, Edmond Kombat, as I indicated, he is an achiever. If he is able to get the ministry, get Jubilee House, get the management and board to support whatever the vision that he is bringing to the table, if he's able to galvanize these supports, and then they all agree that if we did a private-public partnership, PPP arrangement, we would be able to get the refinery to greater. We would support them. Whatever it takes. The civil society space, the ordinary Ghanaian, is hoping that we will not continue to create jobs for European refineries. As it stands, we continue to import everything virtually from Amsterdam, Rotterdam, the Arab region. You are creating jobs for those refinery workers in Europe. Meanwhile, your refinery staff here would continue to be idle because their skill set, you will not tap into that. You will not allow the refinery to work. you would also not invest in the refinery, nor allow private persons with, some capital to come in there to say that, okay, we can help to operationalize, the depot business. We can help operationalize the CDU. We can help operationalize this. If the government of the day, the board, and the ministry do not align with what the new managing director is proposing to do, it will still be a difficult thing, and we will not be surprised at all if he gets frustrated. But then again, it's a new government. You have no idea what their intentions are. You would want to believe that they are setting out to wow Ghanaians by bringing the refinery back on stream. Once upon a time, 5% of Ghana's GDP came from TOR alone. We would be happy to get to that point where TOR is delivering and then the economy is sound. We don't have to get 400 million USD every month to import finished product. If TOR alone could do 50% of our net national demand, you are simply looking at 200 million USD slashed from your fuel importation bill or cover.
Very well, Duncan. But in a minute, pretty soon we'll go to TOR and assess the situation on the grounds. But we know fuel prices have been dropping at the pumps, and I'm wondering what is happening and if this is sustainable. In a minute, if you can do that for me.
What is happening generally is that international benchmarks have been quite favorable. I have indicated this for the first almost half of this year, between January and now. We've seen gradual drops in international market price. We've also seen the CD perform creditably well. And on this, I think that the finance ministry, whatever the magic, the Bank of Ghana governor, the policies that they are rolling out to contain the dollar at this point seem to be working. And so, like you rightly indicated, the first window in May, prices have gone down again for Ghanaians. Not too significant, but whatever it is, it could have gone up. It could have been stable. So if it goes down, that is some relief to Ghanaian pockets. And we are very happy by these developments. The most commendable bit now is that Bank of Ghana seem to be doing something right. The finance ministry seem to be getting something right. The government seem to be getting something right with the currency.
All right.
And that would also inform how much you are getting from, these savings that we are making across pumps as far as fuel pricing is concerned.
Very well. Thank you so much, Duncan Amo. I truly appreciate your time here on Business Life. And like I did promise, we want to go to TOR and assess the situation there. Godwin Mahama Yaba is in charge of Corporate Affairs, Officer of External Affairs as well, for a conversation on this. Godwin, thanks so much for your time. And I'm wondering how staff and management are taking the reassignment of Dr. Yusuf Sulemana to the Energy Ministry as a technical advisor and, of course, the appointment of his deputy as the new MD. What's the mood in town? Unmute for me, Godwin.
Good evening.
Great. So I was asking about the mood in the refinery following the reassignment and, of course, the position given to his deputy as the new MD. What's the mood in the refinery as we speak?
Good evening, my brother. Good evening to your cherished viewers. And it's a privilege to speak with you this evening. This morning, the news broke at the refinery. When we all got to the refinery this morning, usually work begins around 7:30. So we got to the refinery and we started hearing the news. But basically, we have all the employees have taken it calmly. We have accepted it in good faith, because what we must all know is that the Constitutional Republic of Ghana vests in the president the power to determine who has any of the government institutions. So far, it has not caused any mayhem in the refinery. We are all calm. We have accepted it in good faith because the newly appointed MD has been with us as the deputy. He is known by the refinery because he used to be there with the previous MD in the person of Mr. Ewua Dakon. So he's not a new person to the refinery. So we have all taken it in good faith.
All right. So considering the justifications given in the letter, what more reasons were given apart from what you know?
Okay, so as I said earlier, when you read the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and you read the various articles, particularly Article 75, Article 93, Article 125, it tells us the various arms of government, and all of them have their responsibilities. In this case, the power to appoint is in the hands of the president, and he decides when to appoint somebody to a strategic area. In this case, Dr. Yusuf Suleiman, together with the newly appointed MD, Mr. Edmond Kombat, were all appointed in February. And we can all attest to the fact that Dr. Yusuf Suleiman is an expert in this area, likewise that of the deputy. So in the wisdom of the president, his expertise will be needed in the energy ministry, because we all know what this energy sector we have been bedeviled with. And we need experts to be able to sit with the minister, advise the minister, and see the direction to which we want our energy sector to go. So the president has decided to bring together experts in the energy sector to be advisors to the minister. And it is upon that Dr. Yusuf Suleiman has been reassigned and appointed Mr. Edmond Kombat as the managing director of Tema Oil Refinery. Godwin. Mr. Edmond Kombat's expertise in the same area cannot also be undermined. Anybody who has followed Mr. Edmond Kombat keenly will attest to the fact that he has absolute knowledge and understanding when it comes to oil and gas and refinery issues.
Godwin Mahama Yarba, thank you so much for your time. He speaks for TOR. Away from TOR-related stories, the Cybersecurity Authority has reported an increase in financial losses linked to online blackmail and sextortion. Now, the authority says it recorded 155 reported cases between January and April 2024, with associated losses of over 103 million cedis. However, an updated analysis covering January to April 2025 indicates a slight increase in reported cases, but a significant rise in financial losses, reaching over 499 million cedis. More in this report.
Avoid accepting friend requests from unknown individuals. Be cautious of quickly progressing online relationships, particularly those requesting intimate content. Never share such content. Avoid sharing intimate content with strangers online, even if they seem trustworthy. Keep social media accounts private and limit who can view your content. Avoid capturing or storing nude images or videos of yourself or any device. Immediately cease all communication with the threat actors should you fall victim. Do not pay any ransom. It encourages repeated demands and does not guarantee deletion of the content. Preserve all evidence. Take screenshots. Record usernames, URLs, messages, and payment demand. Report incident to the Cybersecurity Authority and inform a trusted family member or counselor for emotional support.
And those were some tips you need to deploy to avoid falling victim to online blackmail and sextortion. That's it for Business Life. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Beyond the Numbers is next.